Sounds okay to me. Okay, so we're on. So this is our last session for the GMI mentoring series, like session 12. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
We-
session 12 one.
yes.
Ah, let me see what's about. I think I reviewed it the other week. But let's see what it's like. I think it's
Globalmentorship.org.
it's things like building relationships and improving opportunities. I think it's more of how can you stay. Let
Okay,
me see.
let's
Mm,
opening it up. Yes, working in a global business environment and completing your mentorship. Okay, so let's see. So, yes, let me share my screen as well so you know.
yeah.
Turn off camera. Release. Uh, Easily share entire screen or share the window. Which window? Entire. Okay. Resources. Okay, great. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so global business skills, completing your mentorship. Session 12. So global communication. Show your student what it is like to work with a team of international companies and colleagues. Guide your student in how to work effectively. Mhm. Help your student better the competence and skills necessary to successfully collaborate internally and global, and discuss your own experiences working in a global business environment. So, and then we review the sessions, worksheets. We'll do that. Um, yeah, cultural competency, relationship building, and there's some last information sheets. Um, okay, there are some questions to ask when the discussion opens, but I think I get an idea of what is going on. Okay, great. So, what is it like to work with a team of international companies and colleagues? Um, so I've worked with Microsoft in India, which was which is one country but a lot of cultures, right? There's like a billion people there in that country, so it's almost like a significant or 1.4 billion. So roughly one sixth of the planet is in that part of the world, and
Mhm.
there's a lot of cultures and a lot of different backgrounds people come from, socioeconomic backgrounds, a lot of that. And even in the US is a little more cosmopolitan in the sense that you have people from manager who's Romanian, at least the last one, and the one the last one was Canadian. The one before who I was for a year was Romanian. Before that was Indian, and I have colleagues from India and from Portugal, from Nigeria, from so different parts of the world. Um, so I guess when you work with people from different cultures, you need to speak their language. So in 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 your workplace, communication is key. Is very important to communicate well so that there is clarity, alignment, and then work can happen. If that doesn't happen, it can uh, affect your productivity, your collaboration, because you're building on top of each other's work. So you must have had experiences working on projects, and the other person just doesn't get you, right? Doesn't understand you, and some of it, most of it is because you're not speaking their language. What you need to understand is when you are speaking to someone, it is important you speak in their language, right? Because it is your task to communicate. Uh, and similarly, if you are asking a question to somebody, Yes, you have your language and your style and your way of explaining things. But if you are seeking something from the other person, then you need to speak their language. Their, they are important. And when they speak their language back, so they feel comfortable, number one. Number two, they give you the answer, and then you have to translate their language or their message into your, whatever system. Um, so that's one thing, like communication. Like number one, when you like if it's the same kind of people, it's easy to communicate. Like you get each other, right? Like I'm from Kerala, so when a Keralite comes to me, I just feel very comfortable, and we just start speaking our mother tongue, and there's a level of comfort there. That said, when you work with people from your own culture, you have a lot of like you have the same perspectives. You're in the same bubble, right? Like when you speak, let's say you're in Africa and you speak with people, in Uganda, right? And you might have your own like cultural understanding of how work happens. But then somebody in Nigeria or somebody in Morocco, somebody in Egypt might be from the same continent, but they don't necessarily agree with what you're saying, right? Because they've seen a different world. They've seen different people and they have a different perspective. And that usually helps because if you're building something for the world, like if you're building something for Uganda, doesn't really matter much, like what the outside perspective happens. It might be counterproductive. But if you're building for the world, it's really important that it's representative of the world, right? Um, like I can give you an example, like just with these glasses, right? Um, so these are Ray-Ban glasses. These are Meta glasses. There's a camera inside of these glasses, and there's earphones also inside the glass. So it's very interesting gadget. Uh, but then there's a challenge when you wear the Arab shimag or like the Arab dressing where they put something on their head, like a white thing or it could be red in color. Now, what happens is when I wear that, it keeps touching over this part of the glass, and there is a touch point here. So this is a button here, like it's a touch enabled button. So I cannot really wear this set of spectacles with that uh, with that attire, right? And that's just a miss, right? I mean, yes, it works for Americans. It works for probably like every part of the world that doesn't have a scarf or something like that. And this could be applicable to like Muslim women as well who wear scarves, right? And that could be like 500 million people in the world, right? Um, so they cannot wear these glasses. So it's just a miss from their diversity and inclusion, you know, this thing. But then if there is somebody who's representative of that culture, the Arab culture or the Muslim culture, they would catch that because it's just part of their dressing. So that's the benefit of having people from different, you know, nations, cultures. So you can learn about each other, and from those perspectives, you can build a truly global product. Any questions? You're muted. I can't hear anything.
I'm like, no questions at the moment.
Okay, okay. I think I can stop sharing also just because I don't think this is the screen itself is very important. So number two is guide your student in how to work effectively, right? Um, to guide your student on how to work effectively in a global business environment. Why? So I guess it answers the same thing, right? Communicate better, speak the other person's language, know your audience and speak their language, and then the rest just takes care of it. So language is not just the speech, but you know how they perceive things. Like I would say that people from my culture are very playful and humorous, right? But there are people from some other cultures who don't like humor much, right? They're kind of edgy more, like shrewd. So you don't want to like, you know, go and crack a joke, like be very humorous with them. It doesn't fly, right? Your intentions might be good, but if they're not used to it, it just feels like you're mocking them or something like that. Um, so you need to know what each person's value systems are, right? Indians, at least Indians with Indians are very like bhaichara type, like bhai kaise ho, like bhai kaise ho, brother, how are you? Right? I mean, in English lingo, I have not seen that happen too much. That people like brother, what's happening? Right? It's more like, hey yo, what up? Hey pal, hey buddy, that kind of a thing, right? So like the words kind of change, but yeah, there is it kind of has some cultural connotations. Now, competencies and skills necessary to successfully collaborate with internal and global colleagues. So internal and global colleagues. So I guess it's culturally within the same company. I guess like there's company culture and then there is like geographical culture. So two things, but effectively culture. So within the company, I think you have your frameworks, you have your own way of doing getting work done. So I think as long as people are aligned, uh, it's good, right? So I think it's important that you align. Uh, it's important you align. You get alignment between both, like your the parties, right? This is what our value systems are, and when even when you work with global people, and like I said, like just speak their language, right? Like you need to know who you're talking to. As long as you know that, and you make them feel valued for their perspective, for their culture, for their opinion, things just work out. That's all. Like now, what does it mean? What flavor it is depends on where they're from. Very simple. This is your own experience working in a global business environment. What you have learned. What have I learned? Let's put US as a place, right? I think I gel well with Indians because I understand their culture at least the first. So when I went to US, like first 3 months were pretty hard for me because I couldn't connect with people, right? Who are not from my culture. So Indians I could sort of connect, but let's say there's an American and he's talking about American football. I don't even know how it looks like. They're talking about cruise, right? I've never seen a cruise ship in my life, probably. And they're talking about weird stuff, right? Now, what would happen is at the lunch table, I'd be quiet because, like, who am I to give my perspective, right? Because I don't know what they're talking about. And that happens, right? And that's what kind of people feel alienated when you are in a new place. But what I would say is, um, y- it's actually an opportunity to learn. So if you don't know about football, tell them you don't know about football. Nobody's going to judge you. And even if they judge you, it's okay. It's now they feel valued because they know football, you don't know football. So who's better? They are better, right? Technically, they're better, at least in that football, right? They feel valued. Actually, that's a very good point to strike a chord with them, right? Because if you go, people don't like smart people generally, right? People who are smarter than them. It's because it makes you feel less, right? Intellectually. So, but then culture is something that you cannot know everything about everything, right? So, and like I don't know much about African culture, Ugandan culture. You know more. So when I ask you about Ugandan culture, if I talk to you, okay, how do you say how are you in your language? You are better. I don't know, right? Clearly, and that makes you feel special, right? Like, what is the feeling that comes when I ask you, like, can you tell me, Santa, how do you say how are you in your language? Like, can you say that?
Yes, Muhammad. Are you saying I should tell you how I say how I in my language?
Yes.
Okay, so in my language they will say itie benyo.
Itie benyo.
Yes, itie benyo. So that's in Kumam. That's in Kumam, my language. That's from the Far East. But then if I say it in Luganda, which Luganda is the main language in the central, they would ask Oliotia.
Oliotia, yeah. I know Oliotias. Oliotia I've
Yeah.
heard because I've met with Ugandan people. Oliotia and Bingi, No, there's Unji Burundi and is that's a different language. I think that's a different one. One of the other African languages. But so how do you reply to Oliotia?
Oliotia.
Like I'm good.
Yes, I'm good.
Huh?
I don't know.
How do you say I'm? You don't know how to say I'm good in Ugandan? How do I like Okay. So so okay. What about Kuma? Kumo, your language. How do you say how are
In,
you?
in
And
my so in my language, I would say itie benyo. Then you say atie bear. I'm fine. Atie bear.
Etiebe,
Yes.
Etiebe, right? Etiebe.
At,
Now this small conversation that you had, 1 hour, 1 minute, right? It made you feel comfortable, right? It made you feel happy. It made you feel like special, right? Like you're the teacher here, right? And this experience can be repeated in many contexts, right? Uh, it does make me look like a fool, which is okay, right? Because I don't know, and it's not my fault. Like, how would I know Ugandan, right? But it makes you feel special. It makes you feel valued, right? This is how you strike a conversation. It's very simple. You just ask something. Don't ask weird stuff like how's the weather. Not weird stuff. It's okay. Like how's the weather? Like how are you doing? What is happening? Like very open ended, right? And very like I'm just trying to waste. I'm just trying to kill time, right? Here, um, Oliotia, I learned something, right? Um, oh man, I don't remember the other two. Like I just lost. Sorry, but you get it, right? Like I still don't know enough, so I'm the ignorant one here. So my own experience basically suggests that when I talk to people, especially like I'm talking to somebody in Morocco, there's this teacher who I'm talking to. She speaks French. Okay, she's like an elementary teacher, and I've been having like one of the best French learning experiences in my life. Right, I learned French for 4 years, and Moroccans speak French. So I'm like learning stuff like bien dormi, like good night, and so she doesn't know English. Okay, so now I can force her to speak English, right? Which is one way to do it. But what I'm using it as an opportunity for me to learn French or to kind of revise French. So I've not spoken French for like 15 years now. So I've mostly forgotten whatever. Uh, but then with her, she sends me messages in French. I go to ChatGPT, I translate my messages and get the French and then send it back to her. Right? And a very interesting, it's very, very learning experience. Like she's become effectively my teacher. Right? She's not my French teacher, right? So we are speaking about something else. But then the conversation is so nice that like like she's liking me and I'm liking the experience, right? It's like because like she's the boss, right? She's driving the conversation. She's the one who's giving. When people give, when people teach, they feel good. Like for example, I'm the mentor here, right? I am putting effort, right? I am teaching you stuff, right? It's kind of tiring maybe, right? Or it kind of comes in the middle of the day, but I feel happy because I'm giving you, right? The more you give, the happier you are. So she's feeling happy, and whoever you're happy with, you want to spend time with, and whoever and you like that person, and then it's just simple. Like you want, you're ready to work together. So it builds that momentum is what I'm saying. Now, so yeah, any questions? Okay, that's a bit of a yawn.
Okay, Muhammad. So what happens in the instances where you communicate and then the person misunderstands?
The person didn't understand.
I mean, you communicate something, you intended it to be perceived in this direction, but then the person perceives it in the other way that you
Yeah,
took away. So what
that,
happens
that,
in
that,
such a situation?
that's very common. That's so in that situation, you clarify. I mean, it's simple. Sometimes it's good. Like for example, um, so this person, very specifically, like this person from Morocco. So she was telling me that she's from Agadir, okay, and I was like, oh, I have I have a new friend in Agadir, okay, because I spoke to another person who is from Morocco, and he invited me to Morocco like 2 weeks back. So I think he's from Tangier or Agadir, I don't remember exactly, but he's he's my new friend. So I sent him a message. I sent her a message saying, I have uh, uh, Ilya on new, I forget, Nouveau Ami, I think, Nouveau Ami Agadir, right? What I meant is I have, or let's say, uh, Ja'ai, yeah, Ja'ai. Ja'ai on Bon Ami or on Nouveau Ami Agadir. So what I meant is I have a new friend in Agadir and he's this guy, right? Whatever is what I meant, right? But then she thought I was talking about her. Uh, and she said, we, yes. Uh, and that was a good loss in translation. So she basically considered me a friend, right? Basically, she thought I was saying that uh, I have a new friend and that is you, right? So you can go both ways. So I didn't go to correct her, right? I was like, great, this works. I mean, that's also true. I have a new friend in Agadir, right? Um, so when that happens, I think Santa, the answer is you need to see if it's a good misunderstanding or a bad misunderstanding. Okay? It can be both ways, right? If it's good, leave it there. It's okay. As long as it's productive, it's as long as it's positive, it's good, right? Just go along. Don't like don't correct people. People don't like being corrected, right? And if they did take it in the wrong way and you really needed to be corrected, you kind of acknowledge your mistake in conveying that message. Right? It could be them not understanding that's a different problem, right? But look into yourself, don't focus on them, right? And repeat this. Oh, maybe, oh, I said that like that, my bad. Maybe I forgot to put the context, but here is what I really meant, right? So that should not make the other person feel stupid, right? Make yourself, like, take the hit. So, like, long story short, what I'm trying to say is when people misunderstand, determine if it's good or bad. If it's bad and needs to be corrected, you take the mistake and clarify. It's easier, right? So that's what I would say. Any other question?
Thank you so much. Like that makes a lot of sense. Owning a mistake and then trying to settle it out. I don't have another question.
Okay. Yeah. So relationship building. This is all part of relationship building. Like business is about people and relationships between them. The more you know how to talk to people, how to build a relationship out of nowhere with some random stranger, the better you'll be at work, right? Because you'll just be likable, and people like to work with likable people. And different culture. How comfortable are you working with people from? So, how comfortable are you working with people from a different culture?
Working with people from a different culture. I
Mhm.
think I can easily work with people from a different culture. I can easily adapt to the different dynamics, given the fact that I have done so in the past. So in my volunteer role, I get to work with people from Malaysia. I get to work with the ladies from Kazakhstan. I get to work with ladies from Southwest Africa and all that kind of thing. So for me, it's easily adjustable. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And why do you think that is the case?
Wanji?
Why do you think that is the case? Like, You said that this is how it happens. My question is, why is it easy to work with people from Kazakhstan or Malaysia for you?
I think it's easy for me to work with people. Would I say it's because of the exposure kind of it? Because if it's a completely different person who has never interacted with people from a different culture, they may find it hard for the very first time to interact with someone from a different culture or background or something of that sort. But because I have had a long time exposure to people from different backgrounds, so it's like very easy to work with them, and it's also easy for them to work with you if both sides like clearly communicate, because that is usually key. And if you have clear communication, then everything can always be set rolling. Yeah, so that makes the work in both directions like easier.
Interesting. Interesting. And what ways can you gain experience working with people from a different culture at school, work, volunteering, or in your personal life?
What I say?
What ways can you gain experience? How can you gain experience?
How can I gain experience?
Hmm. That's what's written here. I mean, I think the question would be like, uh, how can you find these experiences? So I think one is volunteering, right? Because people from different cultures come there, right? Like with a shared goal. I think having people with a shared objective, right? Could be work, could be something, right? Uh, it just helps you gain experience, right? You basically you have to do it, right? Or you can even learn from YouTube, from what I've seen, right? Like YouTube or TikTok, you get to learn about American culture, I guess, right? Because there's a lot of sitcoms, a lot of comedy and all of that. So I think everybody knows what happens in the US, right? But do you really know what happens in Kerala? Do you know really what happens in India? I don't even know the name of your language, right? So clearly, like like what I'm saying is, I think we all have this media bubble, which like the US and Europe and European culture usually takes precedence. But there is other cultures out there which are also valuable, right? Like, uh, I think, yeah, you either work with people, you meet them, or you meet them online, or you like watch content about it, right? Stories and movies and all of those, right? It really gives you and it's lot more interesting watching a movie about a different culture, a different story than like your life, like just what happens around you. Like it's boring because you're already seeing your life, right? I mean, I won't find any not very interesting like a movie that talks about Dubai. I'd be like, okay, big deal. Like, I see this every day, right? Same with you. Like, if there is a movie about Uganda, you'll be like, why do I need to watch this? I already know, right? So it's more about learning, right? You want to like there is this saying, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. Okay, that we have made people into tribes uh, and cultures, right? Uh, شعوبا وقبائل, like tribes and whatever cultures, um, so that you can know each other, so that you can understand each other, so you can learn about each other, right? So whole purpose of having cultures, the whole purpose of having different tribes is so that you can exchange ideas. Um, so that's one of those things. Yeah. So yeah, I think we've come to the end. I guess just we'll just do a quick rundown. Let me share my screen of what
Okay.
we have. Okay, so let's see. So this is what we've done: mentorship, introductions, and getting started. I think we had that first session that's recorded. Building a great resume. I think the first one we didn't record, but by the second one, I think we had a better resume that you like. We kind of came with a better resume. I also built my own resume if you want to see. Uh, So I use the same. Um, I use the same thing. I don't know if to share this tab. Can you see this tab?
Anji, what did you say?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah. So basically, I also built a resume. I had to do this for some uh, some work that for registering a business. I had to do this. So I also did the same thing. I kind of incorporated what I told you. Right? If you see, there's logos. Kind of makes it. Oh, this Microsoft logo. So instead of you having to read the whole thing, oh, this guy worked at Microsoft. This guy has 3 time ventures. This company did not have a logo, so it's okay. And here, look, so when I go, it's very simple to see, right? There's 11 years. Like, I don't need to do much work. Like, from when to when? 2013 to 2024. Great. US, India. Like, I have like, I don't know, 6 different levels, but I just put the top one, right? When did I where did I land eventually? Principal. So I was principal software engineer for probably 3 months. But the point is, like, I don't need to give like a full timeline. People don't have time for that. And like maybe people will read, right? Like, there's too many points here. I don't see anything. I think I should bold out some stuff, right? Because it's hard to read. When I look at this, it's hard to read. Like, like probably I see the 6 engineers because there's a number here, 250 to 300 million, 40. So only the numbers I'm interested in. If you just like look over it, and I don't know, I don't know if anybody will read this. It's too much. Uh, this is so. I think there's improvements. I just had to do something. So and with the picture, I'm a human, right? Like this resume seems like it's coming from a human, right? Not like some generated thing. And like some education information, some skills, languages. Um, my French is improving, which is great. And yeah, so it's one page. I don't need to scroll too much. It's good. I think it looks fine for like whatever 30 minutes or 1 hour. But because I already talked about all of this with you, I had a very good idea. So one thing I've learned is with this mentorship, like you may have learned certain things. That's totally up to you. But I have learned a lot as well, right? Because when I'm teaching you these kind of things or kind of addressing you in some sense, uh, it makes me think about these things. And for me, it was just like a 30-minute thing to create this whole resume, which is quite decent. I knew where to pick them up from, etc., etc. So that's good. Resume, cover letter. I didn't create any cover letter or anything. AI instructions reference guide. I think so since I told you how to do an interview, how to prepare for something, I do the same with ChatGPT. When I go interview somebody, when I go like meet somebody, on the way, I'm on my earphones talking to ChatGPT. Saying, this is who I'm meeting. Tell me what good questions I can ask to make it interesting, and it gives me 3 questions, like or like I have a difficult conversation sometime over the weekend. So I talked to ChatGPT, how can I negotiate better? So it told me like have tactical empathy, labeling, and one more thing I forgot. But that's the problem with having too many things in mind. So all this stuff. So LinkedIn, I think your LinkedIn profile. Uh, let's take a quick look how it looks like, and it will open. But let's see. Uh, yeah, my So LinkedIn, let's see. Santa, let's see. This is your LinkedIn profile. So graduate student, great. It tells you who you are. Mechanical, mechatronics. You have open to work. This is good. This maybe I don't know. You could put your what is your objective sort of thing,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
What is and you can use Canva for it. It's quite simple. Just I mean the same picture. Just put like a something on top of it. And my objective is to do industrial, like be an expert in industrial automation, right? Grow my career in industrial automation. That's enough, right? So people know what you're looking for. um Accra region, Ghana. Right. Okay, so you are in Ghana. So Uganda is also very close. Like my geography is very weak in Africa. So it says Ghana here. I don't know. I thought use. I mean, it's okay. Probably like neighboring, or where did I get it wrong?
It shows Ghana.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, oh, okay. I need to change that.
Okay, that's a big problem because if somebody wants to hire you from Uganda, you have to be in Uganda, right? Why would they hire from Ghana? So yeah, so just fix that. Um, Internship at Uban served as a quality. Yeah, I mean, like keep this short. But yeah, I don't want to keep reviewing this, but it's good. Great. Oh, so you're reposting stuff. This is happening for you. But, yeah, I would suggest you start commenting on posts, right? I think it's been 1 month.
Yeah.
This is what brings like beyond congress, like just offering your perspective, right? Like I am fairly busy, but I I get some time and I go on commenting everywhere, right? And what happens is, I get a lot of reach because of the commenting, right? So
Yes.
like I don't know, this guy, this person, let's say this one. This is like somebody who talks about Meta. He's some co-founder and this thing, right? So I went and commented my perspective based on my experience, and and it's not necessarily true that like your experience may not be like quite the same, but there's some perspective you can offer, right, from your volunteering experience. Like you have more volunteering experience than me, at least. I mean, at least in Uganda, you have more, right? So there is some perspective that you can offer, right? So value your perspective, right? And just offer it. Somebody will take it, somebody will not take it. Big deal, right? Somebody reads it, somebody doesn't read it. But then when you show up in these places like this, people know Santa, and they learn something from you. And the moment people take from you, they have the need to reciprocate. It's just human. They have to reciprocate. They have to reciprocate with either liking you, like putting a like on that, or just remembering you, or like giving you a job, right? Because they like you. And the more times you show them your your presence, I think the more the likelihood of getting a job. So I would highly encourage you to yeah explore that. So let's do this. Coming back here, you have LinkedIn Advanced Training Guide, job interview. I think we did that. STAR framework. What is the situation? What is STAR full form? I forgot.
What did you say, Mohammed?
The STAR interview practice. What is STAR stand for?
It should be situational, how you relate from how you, I don't remember what it stands for. But yeah, it
I
should
think
be
it's
if you ask a question, then you should describe the situation, then how you went ahead to solve it, and then what you learned from it also at the end of the day. So it's like a 4-step kind of interview technique.
Yeah, it's like situation, task, action, and result, maybe. I don't know. I think that's a
Yes,
result. I don't know.
yes,
Something like that.
yes,
Could
yes.
be. Yeah, so this job search guide, thank you note template, AI questions for job search. Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, how to distinguish yourself. We spoke about it. Like, like basically you taking ownership, right? Like if there was one word, if I had to put this in, distinguish yourself in the workplace, ownership. Simple. And working in global business environment, communication.
Yeah.
Communication, clarity, likability, right? These are good enough. The rest is
Okay.
like, yeah, content.
All right. It's been a great journey.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Maybe just a quick update from my side. So last month I got a volunteer slot within an
Uh-huh.
innovation hub in the university
Uh-huh.
at Makerere University. So that's where I've been going for the month of April,
Uh-huh.
and I'll keep going there. And so in June, they're going to run a collaboration program with another smaller industry that is starting up in the country, that is Luera Electronics. So I'll be joining them for a graduate training for 3 months. That is starting June, July, and August. And then once
Great,
the
great.
graduate is done, we are supposed to enroll in. So what happened is they recruited trainees and trainers So I was recruited as a trainer. So I have to first go through a training for 3 months before I jump into train. So that is what I'll be engaging in from June, July, and August. Then I start to do a training for the trainees from September onwards. Yeah, so that is what I'll be doing next month. But yeah, for the that's where I've been. Yeah, from April. Yes, I got to volunteer. It's an innovation hub at the university.
Okay, great. Congratulations. I hope that goes well, and you will do well. So yeah, work hard, stand out, take ownership, learn as much as you can, and I guess deliver. Right after that, it is train others.
Yeah, sure. So I presume we'll keep in touch. I think I'll call in if I need to catch up with you. I'll just let you know and we can schedule a call anytime.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, yeah. Whenever you feel like, just yeah, feel free to send me a call, send me a message. If I don't pick up, just I might be in a different time zone. But I'll see if I am coming to Africa for the first time, like Egypt, Morocco, soon, sometime this month, inshallah. That happens. I'll see if there is some way to land into Uganda, and then maybe we can meet in person.
Okay, that would be great.
Great, great,
All right,
cool.
Muhammad.
Yeah.
I'll just let you know
So
how it all goes.
yes, yes. Keep me posted. Keep me posted.
Okay, sure.
Awesome. Okay, I guess this is where we say goodbye. And yeah, it's been a lot of learning, like for me. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, Regardless of what has happened, I think it's been a very good learning, and I have all these recordings, so hopefully it'll help others as well. Which is great. And yeah, I think we should send an email to Global Mentorship as well, saying that hey, we did all this stuff. This is all the recordings. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And yeah, I'd also like to just say thank you to Global Mentorship Initiative. Uh, it's great that you are in another part of the world, and you are able to like talk to me, and I'm in different parts of the world at different points of time, and we're still able to communicate and like carry on this conversation, which is like just the power of technology. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, it's a great world. It's getting better every day.
All right, sure. I'll drop them an email. I'll keep you in copy and then, yeah, you can respond to it also.
Awesome, awesome, great, Santa. Nice meeting you. Until next time.
All right, we'll speak soon. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
thank you, thank you. The pleasure has been all mine. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye.